Hi. Heart intelligence? I'm Ronni.
And hi, human intelligence, my name is Vince. We're here to talk about doing business on purpose.
And I'd like to begin by acknowledging the Gadigal people of the Eora nation on whose land we meet today and pay my deep respects to their elders, past, present, and future. And purpose. I am hungry for purpose. I didn't even know what that really meant, but in 2004, I started OzHarvest because I wanted a meaningful life. I wanted to know what it meant to live a fulfilled life on purpose before that word was even as common as it is today. I did not know that 3 million people suffer from food security or insecurity, depends which way you look at it. What I did know was that I needed to do this. Our value proposition right from the beginning as a philanthropic organization was that every dollar would deliver 2 meals to vulnerable people. And 14 years later, we still continue to do that. We have now delivered, a year we deliver over 21 million meals. And for me, it's about living a life for purpose, a life on purpose. I want and strive to live a better life and to live the very best life. What about you, Vince?
Well, I'm optimistic. Sorry to match that. I'm optimistic by design. Myself and my organization, Frost Collective, are passionate about helping individuals and organizations to be the best they can be. It doesn't matter if they're a charity, a startup, or a large organization. We're designed to help people. We need to make a difference. Our focus is to design a better world. Each and every single project that we work on, we put that same focus. It doesn't matter who it is, where it is, etc. You can make a massive difference to this world in a positive way. And I think we all have a responsibility to do that. Our values are pretty simple, but they mean a lot, and I certainly live my life by them. Determined, entrepreneurial, thoughtful, humble, and effective. Now, that's something that's really important as a business grows, that the people in the organization you work with share those values. And it's equally important that you work with organizations and clients that are aligned with your values. My values might be totally different to yours. We all have our own values.
I think that joint purpose that you mentioned, that alignment of values, I was introduced to Vince in 2010. A friend of yours, Nobby from Droga, I'd asked if he would help us create a brand proposition. I didn't actually even know what that meant. But what he did do was he gave us our mantra, the thing that OzHarvest lives by, and that is our purpose is to nourish our country. And then he said, well, I'll introduce you to my friend Vince, because I think he didn't want to do anything more with us.
Yeah, Ronni is incredibly persuasive, and as much as I sometimes say no, it's impossible to say no to Ronni. And that actually means that she can move mountains and achieve phenomenal success that she has today with her organization, doing good. You can see the logo prior was based on a van, because a van is the vehicle that you see around the city that delivers the goodness, collects food, etc., rescues the food. We worked with Droga 5. They credit, as Ronni said, the branding. We fine-tuned that, and we added a new little twist to it. We added a font called Frankfurter.
I just love that it's Frankfurter. I mean, it's edible font, and seriously, the food that was the most common food delivered to vulnerable people before we started delivering exquisite gourmet food was white bread and sausages. So it kind of works for us.
Yum. So it's focused on, the organization's basically focused on delivering goodness. And we took that cue for the annual report. Sorry, it's been chopped off there on the left there. But we took that as the cue for how we approach all the communications that we do for OzHarvest. There's not always a budget, and we push things to create great solutions without and pull in a whole bunch of favors from all kinds of people. A simple task, black and yellow, two simple, very strong colors. Ronni owns that combination, and very proudly.
Well, it's such a beautiful, sunny, smiley, bright color.
It really, really is. So we pulled in favors, we pulled in favors like paper companies will donate the yellow paper for us so we don't only have to print one color, black. And you can see how powerful and impactful that is. Ronni is continuously pushing us. Every time we do something, she says, is that good enough? It's bloody annoying. I know we all have clients like that, but I trust her that she's right. It makes me feel slightly intimidated. But we pull out the stops, and every time we do anything for her, we try to go above and beyond what's expected.
You know, that annual report, sorry, but that was our first proper annual report. And it was humongous. It didn't even fit into a computer bag. So it was significantly noticeable. But as a marketing tool, it was absolutely brilliant. Nobody had seen an annual report that was just so bright and colorful. And I think it won you lots of awards, as a lot of your work with us.
Yeah, no, the team were very pleased that it won awards, but that's not why we're in business. We're not in business to win awards. It's a nice byproduct. It's a nice acknowledgement of the work that we've done in the industry, but more importantly, it works for you and your team. It's really cool also to see Ronni transform. I mean, this is really about, not just about branding, it's about relationships. It's about connecting with your client in a deep and meaningful way. And staying on that journey, the last 8 years that we've been working together has been quite incredible. There's been good times and bad times, but also seeing how you've grown around the world is quite incredible.
I think what's so extraordinary about OzHarvest, I say that we are a magnet for magnificent people, because in all walks of life, people support us, whether they're young, whether they're old. We all know that actually the fundamental principle that we all deserve food is a human right, and to know that 1/3 of all food globally goes to waste is unconscionable. But when you get corporates, when you get community, when you get every sector and every demographic supporting you, like our CEO Cook-Off, which is an annual event where we get at least 150 CEOs or business leaders sponsor themselves to enter into this event, where we get 50 of Australia's top chefs from around the globe, from around the world, from around Australia. 2019 will have global CEOs, chefs as well. But come together for an experience around love, joy, spirit, and at that event we feed 1,300 vulnerable people. So the tables are somewhat turned, and that event raised us over $2 million this year.
Another event that Ronni put on, I think that deserves a round of applause, sorry.
Well, it's for all of the people who supported all of us. March 25, 2019, save the date.
So another event that Ronni put on was Feed the 5,000. It's an event that took place in Martin Place a couple of years ago. And what we thought we'd do is use this fruit and vegetables that was disfigured and not perfect for the primary visual to attract people to the event. Really cool that JC donated all the bus shelters, and so you saw these all around the city. Again, another organization contributing in a positive way. Another project that Ronni came to us with was a cookbook, and she came to us about probably 6 months before Christmas. She wanted it by Christmas as a gift for corporates. We talked to publishers. Publishers said, maybe 2 years' time we could do it. But Ronni didn't take that. She said, we're going to do it anyways. So Ronni self-published this, and we put out all the stops to make it happen. And that's really exciting for us and challenging. You know that anything is possible. You know that it's down to kind of just focus and determination. This book was about urban harvest. It's about people growing fruit and vegetables in their gardens, on their balconies, on their roofs, in schools and communities. We took this whole idea of the edible font quite to the actual annual report, to the book, and there's about 50 chefs' recipes within the book itself.
And that book was sold, obviously, for all the funds come to OzHarvest, and that allowed us to deliver about 1 million meals. So pretty powerful when a corporate gift can do that.
Another round of applause.
Thank you.
And still selling well. In fact, you can buy it over here.
I think it's outside. I think there are a few left. There are not that many, actually.
So the key thing for Ronni is OzHarvest is a charity, and it can't make money. So Ronni came up with this great idea of creating an organization that's focused on profit, bringing ideas to life that then feeds into OzHarvest and supports it.
You know, as we've grown over the last 14 years, so has our reach, so has the demand, so have the pillars within which we deliver our goodness, from food rescue to education to beautiful engagement pieces as well as innovation. And so in terms of delivering and continuing to deliver this huge impact, our budget has grown significantly. So for a philanthropic organization to now need around $16 million a year to be raised, that's a lot of money and a big job. So we looked at it and thought, okay, in this world of startups, of venture capital, of this whole new way of doing business, we need to start a startup. So I come to Vince and say, we're going to create a new business. It's a startup. It's a full social, for-profit business that every bit of profit that we raise within this company will be to sustain OzHarvest. But it needed a brand, and it needed a name. So who would have believed that the words For Purpose Co. were still available as the name of a company? But that is the name of our new company. And then Vince helped us create this beautiful brand.
Yeah, my team, again, pulled out the stops and did some great work on that. And that's the brand itself, and obviously there's going to be a whole bunch of new products coming to market shortly. Certainly believe that anything is possible. If anyone tells you it's not, then ask them why. Ask them why again and again. Because I certainly believe not everybody agrees with this. I'm a yes man. Well, they probably agree with that. But I don't say no. I try not to say no. I say yes, and I mean when I say yes with a full heart and determination. It may take you to difficult places. It may make it really hard, but it's incredible to learn and make new connections and experience new things that you probably wouldn't experience if you had turned it down. Really important as people and designers, etc., to be focused. Be original. Originality is so important. And be hungry. Be hungry to make a difference, to do anything you do in your life, in your day, to make it really special. And give.
It's all about giving. I have learned over the last 14 years that actually giving is so much more powerful than getting. It is an extraordinary thing, and I'm 100% sure that in many cases we are talking to the converted here. But I do want to remind each and every one of you that actually all we have is now. So how many times in the last 14 years I've had people say to me, one day when I've paid the mortgage, when I do this, when I do that, when my children are older, when I can, when I will. We are here to say to you, whether it's about starting the best new venture, whether it's about the job that you're in, if you do not love the job that you are in every single day of your life, you need to examine that life, because it is about push. It's about being totally hungry to feed your good. That is really what is incredibly important.
It's really important also to look after. Oh, there's a bit of a clap over there. It's really important for you to look after yourself, look after your own life, because your life is the most important design project you'll ever have. Some people don't agree with that, some people don't associate with that. But you do have what we think is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to actually design the best life for you. You can listen to my podcast. I've done a series on Design Life, talking to a whole bunch of incredible people. Ronnie's one of them, Nobby's one of them recently as well. This incredible woman, she should be knighted, or what do they do for women? Is it the same thing?
No, thanks.
Okay, all right. For her efforts, because not only is she working across the whole of Australia with her team, but also around the world. And she had a camera crew follow her for 3 years, which is quite incredible. And they created this film called Food Fighter, One Woman's War on Waste. You can look at it on foodfighterfilm.com, and I'd highly recommend it. It's very, very compelling.
In closing, all I can say to you is working collaboratively is powerful. Giving back is powerful. Living on purpose, for purpose is powerful. Whatever it is that your business does, add giving and that yes word to every single thing you do, because there is so much joy in living a life on purpose, for purpose, and doing business on purpose and for purpose. Thank you.
Thank you.